Hello, Taylor Timberwolves. This is Mrs. Leonard again with another bedtime story for you. This one from the Wayback Machine called The Blah. This was a book that I had when I was your age. So I'm going to share it with you now. Bandit's going to listen. I hope you enjoy it.
Once upon a time, there was a blah, a nothing, a nobody, named Billy. "I'm just a blah," Billy told his mother. "Yes, dear," said his mother, who was busy and wasn't really listening. "That's how it is being a blah. Nobody listens to you." Billy sat down on the floor and drew a picture. It was a picture of himself. It was a picture of a blah, a sort of nothing, with a sad expression. Billy's older brother Richard came hurrying around the corner and jostled Billy and stepped on one of his crayons, the green one, Billy's favorite. Richard hardly noticed as he hurried on his way. That's how it is, being a blah. Nobody notices you. "I'll bet I'm not the only blah in the world," Billy said to himself. "I'll bet there are lots of blahs." And he drew some. "I'll bet if all the blahs got together, folks would notice us then," Billy thought. He drew orange ones and red ones and blue ones, but of course there weren't any green ones, because Richard had smashed the green crayon. Billy was king of the blahs. He was leading his troops into battle. While looking for a battle to lead his troops into, the king saw a very strange sight. Some people were upside down in a patch of daisies. "We were jostled into the daisy patch by the terrible, awful jostler named Richard, who lives in the castle on the hill," the people explained. "We'll have to do something about that," said the king of the blahs, as he helped them up and dusted them off. Farther on, they saw some children who were crying so hard that their tears had formed a small lake in which a duck and a fish and a pollywog named Sam were swimming. "It's the terrible, awful jostler named Richard who lives in the castle on the hill," they explained. "He smashed our crayons." "We'll have to do something about that," said the king of the blahs, as he dried their eyes and wiped their noses. The blahs marched up the hill to the castle. They knocked politely and then broke down the door and went in. The king bowed to the jostler and said, "How do you do?" and challenged him to a jostling match. It was a horrible thing to watch. For a while, the terrible, awful jostler was winning, but the king gathered all his strength for one colossal jostle. It sent the jostler rolling down the stairs, out the door, down the hill, and into the lake of tears. While the jostler was trying to get the water out of his ears and the pollywog named Sam out of his pocket, the blahs searched his castle and stomped every crayon they found. The dripping wet black and blue jostler begged for mercy. "Stop," he said. "Stop what you're doing." "Yes, yes, quite so," said the king of the blahs, who was busy and wasn't really listening. "Lovely day for crayon stomping." "I said, stop what you're doing and get ready for supper," Billy's mother said. "Pay some attention to me. Sometimes you act as if you don't even know I'm around," said Mother. "I feel like a blah?" asked Billy. "That's just what I feel like," said Mother. "You can be the queen of the blahs," Billy said, and he kissed his mother and went to wash up for supper.
I hope you enjoyed The Blah as much as I did, and I'm sure as much as Bandit did. Take care and enjoy the time at home with your families.